Yeah, what is good with my people out there, man? It's your player partner Pack Boy Dolo checking in with another episode of the Round the Clock Thinkers Show. And you already know what I'm gonna say. Shout out to my people out there, man. I'm sipping this amazing strawberry banana smoothie. I put a spoonful of organic peanut butter in this motherfucker, a half a cup of oats, and some oat milk, man. This shit is fire. Woo! Hold on. Frozen bananas, like the bananas were frozen. Microwave them up just a little bit so that they'll peel. Break them bitches up, put them in the blender. About the strawberries already frozen. Drop out, I don't know, shit, about 2 cups off in that motherfucker. Oh my God. Get up on your smoothie game, man. You already know that the show is brought to you by the Treeway Winterwear, man. The links are in the description. You can cop the drip, browse the drip. Everything is there. I'm gonna be pushing out new products soon, real soon. And just right now, letting this right here air out. And then I'm gonna start marketing my Aunt Step clothing brand, the Funny Face campaign coming soon. You know, pretty much I already got the website set up. I'm gonna just start marketing and have like a hoodie up here for, you know, to help her with that and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But today, oh yeah, make sure you go get the book, man. Make sure you go get the Pretty Much Understanding, man. The book is out. I dropped it last Christmas. It's beautifully put together. The ebook is free. That's in the description on the official website link. And then also the physical copy, the Amazon link, is in the description. So you get to choose, you know, but you gotta wait on the physical copy. You gotta wait till Amazon ship that bitch. See, me, I prefer that you just get the ebook, because within 2 minutes, free of charge, just a little bit of your time, you got it right there in your email. You feel me? So make sure you go fuck with that, man. Look, today we're gonna talk about something very important. This is what I specialize in. You know what I'm saying? This is what I specialize in. This is why I'm working on the Unlimited Reset. By the way, the mental fasting segment is being put together. And yeah, I will be dropping that soon, but I'm gonna make sure that it's put together right. And I'm gonna make sure that I pack it with just as much information as I can. You know, even though it's so much, it's a big pool, there's a big ocean of information. But I'm gonna pack the mental fasting segment, and when it drops, I'm gonna pack it with as much information as I possibly can. And then after I get done marketing that and feel like y'all done ate that up and that y'all get that part, I'm gonna come with the water fasting, the people fasting, the environment fasting, the advantage of sleep, programming, how it all began, convenience versus inconvenience, health facts, nicotine pouches, all this. Listen, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you. But today we're gonna be talking about how addiction is the number one cause of failure. In my opinion, I feel like addiction in all aspects. Excuse me with the time, man. I just got done with a really intense run, so I'm trying to keep this sweat out my face. But in my opinion, I feel like addiction is the number one cause of all failure. Of all failure. And when I say addiction, I'm generally speaking addiction across all boards. But I mean, I'm talking bad addiction, right? Because later on in chapter 3, we're going to talk about getting addicted to the good stuff. You know, there's a certain thing is good addictions too. But check me out. What I mean by this is typically if you think of yourself, you know, as dysfunctional, or your family is dysfunctional, is usually due to an underlying addiction, right? If you think of your family or yourself as dysfunctional, right? it is usually due to an underlying addiction. What I mean, how the habit started. How did the habit start? This chapter 1. First start point I got right here is this. You had to be a special someone if you grew up around a lot of different addictions and you never indulged at all. Listen to me. You had to be special as a motherfucker. You had to already had somebody telling you beforehand, like, yo, don't involve yourself in that shit. And them emphasizing it over and over again. Or you just tried it once and you really didn't like it. Which makes you special in a good way, right? But most of us, we picked up one of these monsters, not knowing that it will be a nightmare in the future. Let me say that shit again, because listen, later on in life, in high school, all this shit seems so fun and cool, right? So fun, it feels great, it's awesome, it's all laughs, hee-hees, and ha-has. But when your ass get grown and you still hanging on to that addiction, and you done told yourself 300,000 times that you gonna quit over the span of the last 3 years, and you haven't budged, and even if you budged, you weren't able to go no longer than a week or two, and you relapse. Sometimes people go all the way up to like 6 months, then they relapse. You feel me? So you ended up picking up one of these monsters, not knowing that in the future it will be a nightmare. And you sitting here, right? You listening to this. I don't know how old you are, but you're listening to this, and perhaps you have an addiction. I'm not judging you. Understand this. Listen, I'm not judging you. Why? Because I have been addicted to cigarettes, to vapes, to pills, to kratom, to all this alcohol, all this different stuff that I indulge myself in for a long time. So I'm not judging you. What I'm doing is dropping insight and awareness. I'm dropping insight so that I can perhaps bring awareness. Once awareness set in and you got the insight, aka the information, then it's up to you to change. But I got this unlimited reset. It gonna help, man. I'm telling you, when I start dropping out the segments, you need to really tap in with that. But let's roll into chapter 2, man. Facing the monster. Right? If you have an addiction and you don't want to quit, fine. If you like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna just listen to, fine, that's okay. If you don't want to, if you're to the point where you want to click out the video, fine, that's okay. But if you want to change and you've been telling yourself that you want to change, listen to me, because I've done it. I've dabbled in and out of this shit for so long, over the span of like 2 years. I was want to drink, then not want to drink. Want to smoke, then not want to smoke. And then it's not that I was wanting to drink or wanting to smoke. I just couldn't stop. Right? It's like I needed it. It was stronger than me. It was an addiction. You feel me? So when you realize, this is the first start point. When you realize that you have an addiction, you only have 2 choices. 2. Submit to it or rise and face it. Only 2 choices. Now, when we talk about submitting to it, that means you say, because you've met somebody like this before. I know I have. One second. They're like, hey, man, I like the whiskey, bro. I just like to drink it. I don't plan on quitting. I don't want to quit. Right? They'll smoke a cigarette. Shit, we got to die some way. Right? Smoking the cigarettes. They don't want to quit. They don't plan on quitting. They don't want to hear you saying shit about quitting. Right? They submitted to this monster. They've submitted to it and said, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. Then it's the others. They're like, man, one day. Right? One day I'm gonna put this fucking bottle down, man. One day I'm gonna stop taking these pills. Quick side story. I used to be so addicted to pills that if a thought of overdosing came to my mind, I would say, fuck it. I would say, you know what? I guess this how this shit gonna end. It was too strong. It was way stronger than me at that point. I guess this how this shit gonna end. I've taken 6 opioid, you know what I'm saying? 6 opioid pills today. Right? My chest feeling weird as fuck. I still got more right here. Fuck it. I guess this is how it's going to end. I take another one. Right? And then I would wake up unmovable. I would wake up and the only thing that I could move is my eyes. Right? And I could look around. And as I looked around one night, in the window, and right, because I used to sleep in my car, and I was a Lyft driver. And right by my driver's side window was a figure moving his head so fucking fast, up and down and side to side. It looks like some shit that would be on a paranormal movie. I'm telling you, the directors, whoever make these movies, dog, they talk to somebody who went down a really dark road. That's how they able to come up with that shit. It's no way. So this figure is right there, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Right? So I close my eyes. I'm like, yo, just go away. I need to get myself together. Like I'm talking to myself. You know, I usually call on my grandmother, and every time I call her name, Miss Joanne, peace would come upon me every time. Right? She passed in 2003. Peace would come upon me. It would be silence, right? And I would have another chance. The next day, it wouldn't take long for me to be right back into that deadly rhythm. So, one more story. Another night. Once again, take so many damn pills in park that you take so many pills that you're no longer high anymore. You're sleepy high. So you fall asleep. You get somewhere, you're like, man, I can't keep working, man. It's hundreds of dollars out there on the UA, the strip, University of Alabama. That's why I was driving Lyft at. Hundreds of dollars. I could have been making bank. Probably like anywhere from $300 to $400 a day. I couldn't. Why? That addiction had me wedged. That addiction had me limited. So this other story, I fall asleep in my Jeep that night. And I wake up unmovable, right? Unmovable. I don't see anything, but I feel an energy behind my fucking seat, y'all. I feel an energy behind my seat. So this energy gets closer and starts fucking whispering in my ear. I totally ignore it because I didn't want to be cast by some kind of spell or some shit. I totally ignore it. And then on the right is whispering in my left ear. On my right shoulder, I feel a hand grab my fucking shoulder, y'all. And for some reason, I was able to move like just this hand. And I felt the fingers. Dog, I'm getting chills talking about this shit. Man, that shit freaked me out. That right there freaked me out so fucking bad. I said, yo, just go the fuck away. Leave me the fuck alone. Like, what the fuck? Like, blah, blah. And then finally that moment passed. I called on Miss Joanne again. Silence. And I said, yo, I gotta quit this shit. I gotta quit this shit or I'm gonna fucking die. Right? I knew in my mind that I was on a slippery slope. Right? I had one foot in the grave and one foot on a fucking banana peel. And it was so frightening, dog. Like, to experience some shit like that, that'll change your whole perspective on life. You feel me? So let's keep rolling, man. I just had to drop them stories right there because those affected me heavily to the point where I changed. Once I was able to get a grasp on myself, man, I used those stories to be my reason to be like, hell nah, I'm good on anything at this point, nigga. I just want sparkling water and a plain bagel with plain cream cheese on that motherfucker. As a matter of fact, I want the light cream cheese. I don't even want the regular cream cheese no more. You feel me? On some real shit, man. So when you realize that you have an addiction, you only got two choices. You can submit to it, or you can rise and face it. I rised and faced it. I got in touch with a loved one. I told them, take my keys, take my car, right? I told them, drop me off in this hotel, right? I paid for I don't know if I paid or they paid. They probably paid because I didn't really have, the funds to support anything else but my habits. So I told them, drop me off, leave me there. Don't answer from me because I'm going to try to manipulate you. That's what I told them. I'm going to try to manipulate you into getting me my fix somehow, some way, right? Because the mind will come up with some shit. The mind becomes very creative when you're dealing with addiction and you're trying to basically quit or something like that. Or if you're in a situation where you need a fix, the mind becomes very creative. Why you think crackheads do certain shit like how they do it? They come up with all kind of hustles and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Different ways to con people into giving them money. You feel me? But I did that shit. I stayed in that room for 3 days, 3 to 4 days, and I broke off that shit. I broke away from it. And you know what? I never looked back. I never looked back. As far as opioid pills, no, I never looked back. So, fun fact about treatment centers, because that was just a hotel, just some random ass hotel, drop me off, leave me here, straight willpower, dealing with sleep insomnia, can't sleep, you know what I'm saying, up late at night, tossing, turning, sweats, the whole nine, y'all, the whole nine, mental fucking warfare. You ever been to hell mentally? I have. I'm in that motherfucker shadow boxing. Listen, hell. You ever been to hell mentally? Because I have. You feel me? And not trying to talk about nobody, but most people, they ain't been through shit. That's why they're so soft and gummy. That's why they think everything's a fucking joke, because they ain't been through shit. But when you really go through some shit and you make it out on the other side, you realize, man, life ain't, hey, listen, life will fuck you up, dog. Life will beat you down. Why? You bring yourself down by your choices. Life don't give a fuck what you choose to do. If you choose to die, then die. If you choose to live, then live. That's how life operates. It don't give a fuck. You gotta give a fuck, right? So these treatment centers and 12-step programs and shit, check out the funds, man, that is needed to get submitted within these motherfucking things. When you can just quit, when you can just literally stay at home at your house, and have somebody kind of support you and just listen, just get off the shit yourself. Check this out, man. It says an intensive outpatient program can range from $300,000 to $600,000, and I'm not sure if that's upon submission, or if there's like a annual amount. I'm not sure, like per year. I'm not sure. Excuse me. And then it says, and that was an intense outpatient program, right? So anywhere from $300,000 to $600,000. A residential treatment center can be a few million, and then a sober living home can range from anywhere from $200,000 to $700,000. Those are big ass numbers for an addiction, for something that you picked up at the beginning, surrounded by people who was doing this shit like it was cool, and you labeled it cool, and next thing you know, guess what you was doing? You were doing it too, feeling cool, until you got older and you was like, oh shit, I'm dealing with a monster. Right here it says the U.S. substance use disorder treatment market size was valued in 2021 at $35.14 billion US dollars. The U.S., I'm gonna repeat it. The U.S. substance use disorder treatment market size was valued at $35.14 billion. That's in 2021. We're in 2025. Right here, it said, in 2022, it was projected to grow from $37.24 billion to $60.18 billion by 2029. These are big thriving ass businesses, and guess what they're doing? Marketing that shit to you. This says market size was valued at $35.14 billion in 2021. Now I think that means that that's how much they use to market shit. You see what I'm saying? That's how much. And then right here, and I could be wrong, it could be profit, but right here it said in 2022, this is profit right here. They're projected to grow from a $37.24 billion business in 2022 to $60.18 billion by 2029. We're in 2025. I haven't checked on the current numbers, but I'm telling you, this is big shit based off of an addiction. So many people dealing with it. So many people dealing with addiction. Addiction is a monster. And in my opinion, it's the number one cause of failure. Why? Most people are not what they call functional addicts. Most people are very dysfunctional when they're high and when they're not high. Some people are dysfunctional when they're not high and they need to be high to function. Some people are dysfunctional when they're high, right? And then when they sober up, they're still dysfunctional. So it's a two-edged sword that fucks you over when you can quit. And I'm telling you this. Rolling into chapter 3, I've replaced the bad habits with the good addictions. I've replaced the bad addictions with the good addictions. Right? You can literally get addicted to progress and completing meaningful objectives. Dolo, what you mean? Book I read or listened to, right? By one of my favorite authors, David J. Lieberman. And I forget the name of it. The Science of Happiness, I want to say, right? He states that the brain can only focus on one thing. If you're focusing on something good, it cannot focus on something bad at the same time. It's impossible. You either focus on something good or focus on something bad. It's impossible for it to focus on two different things at the same time, simultaneously. So he breaks down that as long as you have a meaningful objective that you're heading towards, right, you will be happy. Now, he also gave an example on how these healthcare clubs and gyms and shit, when they come in there, look, they only have a certain amount of lockers. That's it. A certain amount of showers. That's it. Why? They understand human psychology. People just like to sign up for some shit at the first of the year that feel like they're moving towards something. It's damn near a high. It makes them happy. It releases endorphins. And then next thing you know, a week or two later, they're like, owie, this shit hurts. Who wants to buy a gym membership? Or you know what? I'm not going back anymore. I'm not going back to the gym. What made them do that? They were excited about moving towards a meaningful objective. Getting in shape. Right? They'll spend $50 to $100 on new shoes. Certain vitamin waters. These vitamins that they take, and you go and get at GNC, all this shit that they'll spend money on, and they're just ready. And after 2 weeks, all that shit start growing. It starts collecting dust. Right? They give up too easy. That's why. They give up way too quick. They're not serious. They don't count their small wins. You have to count your small wins in order to win big. I'm going to say that again. You have to count the small wins in order to win big. He also stated, David J. Lieberman, he stated that actually, when you go to the gym, if your goal is to lose weight, you will gain weight first. If your goal is to gain weight, you will lose weight first. That's how the mind and the brain works. That's how the body works. So that's when people are like, what the fuck? It's no progress. They're already looking at, on like the third, fourth day, they're looking for results. It would never happen. Instead of saying, oh shit, this is my 4th day, man. I'm still here. I'm still going hard. Congratulations. Let's do it again tomorrow. Congratulations. Let's do it again tomorrow. Man, I've been going to the gym consistently for a week. Wow, man, that's awesome, man. Give it up for myself. They don't know how to celebrate the small wins. You need to celebrate the small wins in order to win big. That's the only way you're going to stick to it, because otherwise you're going to feel like you're not making progress, especially if your mind and body fucking with you, like David J. Lieberman said does. When you first go to the gym, if your goal is to lose weight, you'll gain weight. What? Man, that'll have people losing their fucking mind. No wonder that the gym memberships sell so quick, and then next thing you know, probably February, the top of February, it was super packed in January, the top of February, empty in that motherfucker. Empty. Back to the same ones who were consistent last year, before the ball dropped. So this was a long one, man. I packed a lot of information in this, and this because this is what I specialize in, y'all. Pack Boy Dolo, round the clock thinker, specializes in dealing with addiction, breaking free from habits. Coming soon, the Unlimited Reset, how to break free from all addictions, all bad addictions at least. I became addicted to running. I became addicted to progress, stepping on the scale, where I'm at. Oh shit, I fucked off yesterday and day before. I had, a couple of really good high calorie meals. Okay, let's get back focused. I'm addicted to getting back focused and getting back on track, getting the progress going, completing meaningful objectives. I shot a show last night. I did not feel like shooting that fucking show. Why? I'm addicted to moving towards meaningful objectives. So therefore, I sit my ass down and talk shit all I want to, blah blah, man. I don't feel like doing this shit. But you think I'm just not gonna do it because I don't feel like it? Fuck no. I'm gonna get my ass up and do it. I'm gonna be doing it while I'm talking shit, cause I'm addicted to progress. I'm addicted to completing meaningful objectives. It's the opposite of how I used to be, because I changed the program. And there's one thing that I'm going to break down in the Unlimited Reset, but I'm telling you, there's so many segments and so much information that I'm going to have to roll them out to you in segments. So be on the lookout for the mental fasting segment of the Unlimited Reset coming soon, man. It's your round Pack Boy Dolo checking out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, man. That way you notify every time these shows drop out to you. And listen, if you want to get in touch with me and you got any questions, you can find me on Instagram at Round the Clock Thinkers, or you can hit the email packboydolostaff@gmail.com, man, with any questions, man. You get a free consultation with me still, but I'm, about to start rolling these segments out, so I'm gonna be busy constructing them. So you need to catch me while I still got a little bit of free time, man. You feel me? It's your round Pat Boy Dolo, and I am checking out. Peace.